hello there and welcome. I'm Peggy. Thank you for tuning us in today. And of course, we have a special person here, Dr. Roger Rhoades. And the thing I love about Dr. Rhoades is when he talks to us, it's with common sense and things that we can pick up on and use in our own situations. And I'm very grateful to him that he gives us his time, and we're going to meet him in just a moment. I had something I wanted to share with you first. The top 5 reasons why people die in South Carolina highways or any other highway in this country is because they're driving too fast for the conditions, not wearing seat belts, driving and drinking, and failing to use the yield to oncoming vehicles and pedestrians who walk or lie down in the road. Now, I can't imagine anybody lying down in the road or walking along the road, but people do it. And we need to be mindful. Summertime, people are out, they're distracted. Young people, inexperienced drivers are out there. So we just need to give ourselves a little extra time and be aware of our surroundings and other drivers on the road, because we want to have a safe summer for everybody. And now I want Roger. God bless you. Thank you for coming.
Good to be here, Peggy.
Roger is a family therapist.
That is correct.
And you have counseled hundreds and hundreds of people.
Oh, from all over. It's amazing. I never thought I'd have the career I've had. I've been very blessed.
Well,
very
and you've
blessed.
helped many people. And we were talking before we went on the air about change.
Yes.
And
wow.
we can't escape it. No matter, you know, we all like to live in our little cocoon and think everything would be okay and we'd never have to face change, but it's always there.
Yes, and you know, we are so attached to comfort. And when you say change, you're really saying you've got to be uncomfortable. You've got to choose to be uncomfortable. And that's why so many people, Peggy, don't do well in life. It causes them, you know, life says you need to change. Your marriage says you need to change. When you have kids, you got to change. Yeah. But people, they don't want to change. It messes with their comfort.
Well, it isn't easy.
Oh, it is. And there is one of the big lies that a lot of families, because they love their kids, a lot of friends, because they love their friends, tell them, oh, this will be okay. It'll be easy. They either say it directly or indirectly. But the truth is, you and I know, boy, when you step out, buddy, you best put your big kid pants on, because it's going to call upon you to be incredibly uncomfortable. You know, you've been in uncomfortable situations. I've been in uncomfortable situations. But the opportunities we've had wouldn't have never happened if we weren't willing to embrace discomfort. You know, and so that's very, very important to, you know, that when change comes in your life, you step into it and you embrace the lack of comfort. And you're willing to go a different route. You know, both of us talk about people we've known, people that are out there doing magnificent things. They had to come out of their comfort zone to do that. And they had to try something new. And it wasn't, we don't live in a society where you get to do the same thing over and over again for 20 years and get your gold watch. You know, those days are over. There is no sit and I'll sit in the desk, I'll push paper, and 20 years later, I'll get my gold watch. No, you know, sometimes I'm going to have kids, and the person I married isn't going to stay with me. And here I am with kids, and I can't throw them away. I've got them right there. And they're going to need to be fed. And so I'm going to have to work 2, 3 jobs to feed them. You know, I saw a thing on TV the other day, Peggy, where a young man just graduated from Texas Christian University. He was an athlete, and he was from the ghetto in the gang area of California. And he has become a Rhoades Scholar.
Marvelous.
Wow. I mean, this young man, he went as an athlete, got hurt. Now, wait a minute. The plan is I got hurt. I'm going to go play for the NFL. Now I can't play for the NFL. Now, the number one thought in people's minds, Peggy, is give up. I'm done. I'll go back to the hood and I'll run the streets and I'll sell drugs and I'll be a gangbanger and that. No. This young man says, I have an opportunity of a lifetime here. And my mother is going to stand behind me. And we're going to get the support I need to move me to a different area. And that's exactly what they did. And I think that is a great message for us out there. I think it's a great message for our viewers. You know, the great things are always available. You know, we were talking the other day about Colonel Sanders.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. If you read Colonel Sanders' life, what a nightmare. What a terrible, terrible nightmare that man lived through. And failure after failure, disappointment after disappointment, frustration after frustration. And finally, at 65, he hits it. 65. He doesn't even move forward to 65. After 65, he comes up with Kentucky Fried Chicken, and he dies a multimillionaire. Now, buddy, I love that. I love that. Says everything about the country we live in, that you can do that. You can be a failure and a failure and a failure.
Because we are blessed in the United States of America. No matter where you're stationed in life or what, if you're willing to work and struggle to do something, the doors are open.
Yes.
Our country, God bless our country for that, because if you're a young person out there, you're a lot better off to be in America than someplace else. Am I right?
Yeah, without a doubt. And that the whole phrase, land of opportunity. Now, Peggy, that has not changed. That has not changed. We still live in the land of opportunity. But I don't want to sell comfortable, easy opportunity. Tough to grab that opportunity. You know, it's like getting on a wild bull. You best be ready, because it's going to buck and it's going to tear you up and it's going to be tough. But the rewards are there if you stay on. And we hear story after story of people who've gotten on it, stayed on it, did what it took, and achieved. And that's still available today. But the land that we grew up in isn't there anymore. You know, I liked living in the country in 1960. I love that. I had a good time, you know. But it's gone. And I was telling you before the camera went on, my wife used to ride horses around here.
Yeah. Not anymore.
Not anymore. Not anymore. They're building houses where they rode horses. Yeah. You know, if you want to ride a horse, you got to go up to Tryon to ride a horse. It's tough. Things change, but people adjust. And that's what we have. That's what we're asking.
Because we can't stop the change, no matter how much we'd like to leave everything the way it was. We can't stop it.
No, and that's what we're kind of doing in this show, is encouraging people to embrace it. You can't stop it. It's going to keep going. We're asking you to get on the bull. We're telling you, we encourage you. God will stand by that. You know, we were talking again before the show about Steve Harvey, the talk show host. And if you would have ever told me that a black man who has no counseling background and very little media background will become a star talk show host,
you wouldn't have believed it.
I'd have said, that's ridiculous. That's never going to happen. But it is, and he is, and he's doing what it takes. And sure, it looks nice. You know, if you look at People magazine, you say, oh, Steve living large. I guarantee you, it's a tough life. He's pushing that rope uphill every day. I've been in that culture. You've been in that culture. Yeah. And I'm telling you, it's a dog-eat-dog culture. And it's not for the faint of heart. It is tough to do.
Well, I will say that I don't think living is for the faint of heart.
Without a doubt.
If we're going to live a fulfilling kind of life, you've got to have spunk. You've got to be willing to get out there.
But Peggy, there's a lot of people living their life on autopilot. You know, they have put their life on neutral and they're coasting down the hill. And then they're wondering, well, why don't I have all the opportunities and why aren't things going well for me and how come it's happening? Well, wait a minute, you're not going to accomplish anything, you know, in neutral. You got to put it in gear. You got to hump it up. You got to get off the track. You know, you got to off-track your life. And you got to do stuff that other people aren't willing to do.
Okay, now that brings a point that I want to ask you about.
Okay.
Because you're the expert. What about young people, high school age people, young people with a world ahead of them, and it's summertime? What can we as parents, if we're lucky enough to have young people in our midst, what can we do to make this something that is important to them? How do we help them?
You're going to hate this, Peggy. We're going to have to tell parents to be uncomfortable, to get out of their comfort spot. You know, what happens is they get in a comfort spot of their kids going to school and the teachers teaching them and them coming out.
They're on a routine.
Without a doubt. And they worship the routine and they become comfortable in that. And that comes up and bites you. That is not good. It's not good for your kids. You know, I always remember when I was graduating from high school and I wasn't sure I wanted to go to college. And my father said, "You don't want to go to college?" And I said, "No, I don't want to go to college. I want to live life." You know, it's in the 70s. I thought, I'm just going to be a hippie. I'm going to live life. And he said, oh, okay. Well, I'll tell you what, I don't have the money for you to be a hippie. So we're not going to let that happen. I'll tell you what we're going to do. I got you a job for the summer in construction in Oklahoma. And so they put me in a spot 20 feet down, building a ditch.
Oh, Roger.
In Oklahoma. Let me tell you, by the time that job was over, I ran to college. I was so, let me go to college. I love college. College is the best thing ever happened to me. See, geez.
So you don't want to turn down any opportunities that present themselves. Now, we've got to take a break. We'll be right back.